It's done, so.
All right. All right. So this is going to be recorded. Okay, so it's audio-visual recording, just so you know, you're aware of that. And then what we're going to do here is introduce myself. I'm Officer Gary Bishop.
I'm Hernandez, Detective Hernandez.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. First thing we'll do is today's date is 10/21. It's 21:16 hours. And we're going to do this as our advice of rights here. So I'm going to read this to you. I know I've already read this to you in the field and had a couple conversations with you.
Yes, sir.
Just brief, but I'm going to read this again and then we'll go out there. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right at this time to an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You said you're over 18, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have the right to talk to an attorney before answering any questions. You have the right to have an attorney present during the questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you without cost before or during questioning if you so desire. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to give you a pen here. Right here it says, I have read the above rights and I understand them. And then your signature there. And you can read that over again if you need to.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
You just read it.
Okay. And then it says, having the above rights in mind, I am willing to talk to you now. No promises, threats, force, or pressure of any kind have been used against me to make any statements.
That is correct.
Okay. Then I'll just have you sign that. And feel free to read that if you'd like to again. And I'm just going to initial here. And then your first legal name.
Daniel.
D-A.
N-I-E-L.
I-E-L. Your middle?
Allen. A-L-A-N.
A-L?
A-L-A-N.
Just one L.
Yep.
Okay. And then your last?
Weldon. It's like well done with one L and no E.
Okay, so W-E-L-L?
W-E-L-D-O-N.
D-O-N?
Yeah.
And then today's date is 21.
Yeah, the cuffs kind of make your shoulders sore.
It's been 11 years. Changed my life.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
It's good. Don't want to be in those.
Right. Yeah.
You get hurt on the job ever?
Yeah, I went wrestling and working out, and I got my thumb cut off, so everything just kind of ties in.
Yeah.
Your thumb was actually cut off?
Uh,
Oh, and it's back on completely.
Yeah, the babysitter tried to stab me and kill me last year. True story. And Woodland.
Jesus, man.
A babysitter?
My babysitter. Yeah.
Oh.
True story. True attendance together right there.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
That's what it is.
So we are here tonight. We showed up at your place. You're here with us now. Do you know why any of that took place at all?
I didn't know you guys were even there. I was talking with Tracy in my bed, our bedroom, and next thing you know, we get a phone call, and I answer the phone, and I'm being screamed at by police.
Okay.
That's the extent. And then I've heard rumor about guns and this and that, and was having a conversation. So,
Okay. Talking with Tracy. Who's Tracy?
girlfriend,
Girlfriend? And what's Tracy's last name?
Hewley, or Stone.
Stone?
I don't know which one she goes by. It varies.
Okay.
But
What were you guys talking about in the bedroom?
her cheating on me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Did you just find out?
I was almost to Prineville with my Toyota because I have to be in Prineville for work on Monday.
Mm.
So I'm a crane operator.
Oh.
And
You found out tonight.
this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Is that?
yeah.
So I guess can you kind of tell us what led you down, how you got to that point of being in the bedroom talking to her about that?
She left. We agreed to separate, just to deliberate the situation, just so there's no hostile environment. And she went to her friend's house, and then I called her. She came over. We were talking, and then here we are.
Oh, okay. So what time of the day did that start? Was that today, or was that previous day that you found out, and then you sat down?
All this transpired today.
Oh, all today.
All today.
About what time did it first start?
I was going down the freeway heading to Prineville.
Oh,
So you already headed to work when,
No, I was just headed to take my toy hauler down. It's down at RV Resort that the company I work for now is paying for. I was just, went down there early to set up, cause I have to be there Monday morning,
okay.
so.
got it. So you were going down to Prineville. Is it Prime or Prime?
It's on my bed.
Prineville?
I've never only been there once that I can remember as an adult, which was today.
Okay. What time was it that you were going down there today?
It was an all-day event. I left my house at like 4:30 this morning.
Okay. Wow, that's, you gotta be pretty tired then.
I'm exhausted.
Okay.
So I had to go to Golden Dale to get my toy hauler, cause I was just come off a job site. I was in Wasco,
Okay.
so.
So-
I'm exhausted.
While you were driving down to Prineville, how did you find out that Tracy was cheating on you?
A friend of mine sent me screenshots. Well, actually, he didn't send me screenshots. He sent me messages stating that she had sent explicit pictures
To that friend?
to another friend,
Oh, to another, a friend of yours or a friend of hers?
mine.
A friend of yours?
Mhm.
Okay. So about what time did you get those messages, do you think?
Oh man, I was driving. I wasn't really paying too close attention to time. It was just breezed glance. I was sitting there, and then whatever continued trucking.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really have much time to really go into detail on my phone when I was hauling a trailer.
Well, I get that, I mean, but you left at 4:30 in the morning, was it 5:30, 6:30?
It was in
noonish?
the afternoon.
The afternoon,
Yeah.
okay. Before you were to Prineville, or,
About an hour, 45 minutes before we got there ish.
Okay.
Hour and a half ish,
okay.
give or take.
Then you got to Prineville, set up camp,
Set up a trailer, turned around as soon as I was set up, headed for home.
okay. And no one was with you that whole time?
Yeah, Brian Anderson was with me.
The entire time?
Yeah, the entire time.
Brian Henderson?
Anderson.
Anderson?
Mhm. He was actually at my house. We were working on his truck, the white truck on my driveway.
Oh, got it.
And then when I was confronting him, he got mad and walked out and left. And my sister Danielle was there, and that's it. I said, where'd Brian go? He left. Okay, I ain't gonna chase you. Like, the truck's here. You're gonna come back. I'm not mad. I just wanna know the truth.
oh, so was it Brian that was getting the messages from Tracy?
Apparently.
Okay.
Well, it was.
Allegedly.
It was.
Okay. So you and Brian left 4:30 this morning,
Mhm.
down to Prineville.
Right.
While you're headed to Prineville, who was it that texted or told you about the messages?
Craig Caps.
Craig Caps?
Mhm.
You know Craig's number off the top of your head by any chance?
No.
Okay.
We're so self-reluctant on phones anymore, guys. I mean, we're all kind of the same book.
Oh, I got it. I totally understand. I know my wife's phone number, and that's
I
about
mean, I
it.
know Tracy's phone number.
Yeah, totally understandable.
And my dad's phone number.
Yeah, if I had to call myself, if I wouldn't have had my number so long, I wouldn't know it either, so I get it. No issue there. You know Craig's address by any chance?
I do not.
No. Do you know, does he live in this local area, or?
Him and his woman were going through some things. He lives in Rose Valley. I don't know. I can't give you an address because I don't know it. I know how to get there. That's it.
Okay, that works. So you and Brian are going down to Prineville. Craig texts you the messages that Brian is possibly cheating with Tracy,
Tracy's cheating with Brian.
or,
Yes.
yeah, or if not cheating, at least exchanging messages
Right,
and
they're just- right.
sending, you sent pictures as well?
It was just pictures for all, from what I was told.
Oh.
Confirmed. Tracy admitted it was just pictures.
Okay. So then you get down to the camp, did you talk to Brian at all while you're
Yeah,
driving
we
at that point?
conversed the whole time. And he said no, and I was okay, well, dude, the truth's gonna come out eventually, just tell me the truth. And be the man, tell me the truth, it's okay. I've had it happen to me before, just tell me the truth. We got a long car ride, I mean, last thing you wanna do is drive somewhere to somebody on a road trip and then think, oh, well, this sucks. So,
How long have you known Brian?
20 years.
Okay, so you assume you guys would consider yourself good friends?
I would consider him somebody I could call if I was ever in any kind of trouble.
Okay.
Called me last night, he broke down, I had to tow him to my house.
Okay.
And that's why the truck's in your driveway?
Right, I bought the parts to fix the truck tonight for him.
Got it, okay.
Even though with the accusations that said so, I was like, well, okay, man, we're men, we're not little boys. There's no reason for anything that I am, it's stupid,
Okay.
so.
So you and Brian both set up camp, And was Brian gonna be working with you or something, or is he just
No,
helping?
no, his truck broke down last night, so he got stuck in my house, so he
And
stayed the
then
night, and he just went with me, cause I told him I'd buy his parts when I went to fix his truck,
Got it.
which is what we're doing.
Okay. And then so you asked Brian, you told him, hey, what's going on, and he denied it.
Mhm.
And then you guys set up camp and you came back home. Did you guys talk about it all anymore in the car on the way
Yeah,
home? Or?
yeah, it was just a periodic conversation, off and
Okay.
on.
Just off and on through the whole trip. What time did you guys get back home today then?
After 4, I don't know the timeline.
About 4 p.m. today?
No, it was after that. It was between, we'll say 4 and 5.
Okay. And then did Brian stay the whole time? I assume you started working on his truck then, or?
Well, he was actually working, I was just guiding him. He was using my tools, because he hadn't fixed the problem that he had, so I was just, I was just telling him what to do.
Okay.
That was it.
So you and Brian are at home. Who was all at home when you and Brian were there working on the truck together?
Tracy was there, she came home from work with our daughter Hannah,
Okay.
and then my sister Danielle was there. Not actual biological sister, just a friend that you call a sister.
And then how old's Hannah?
6.
She's 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Hannah at now?
I believe she went with Tracy to her friends.
Okay.
So
So she wasn't there when we got there.
no,
Okay.
no.
So you and Brian go out around. You get home about 4 or 5. Did you guys do dinner? Did you
No, we
hang
won't.
out
No, we got started on his pickup.
right then?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you guys drinking or
I had a couple White Claws.
a couple White Claws? Okay. Was Brian drinking?
No.
Did you guys eat dinner?
We had McDonald's, I think, or something, a couple hours prior.
Okay. So you got to work on the truck. You got a couple White Claws.
2. Had 2.
Yeah, couple two.
Just
Yeah,
2.
2. On note 2. Change it to 2. There you go. You guys talk at all about messages or anything while you're working on the truck, or?
Bullshit. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
just civilly.
Did you talk to? Was Tracy home when you got home? You said she was.
I mean, she wasn't home when I got home. She came home shortly after.
But she was there in that time frame
Yeah,
between
we all three
between
of us
5 and 9.
All 3 of us talked at one point.
Okay. You all 3 sat down and talked.
We stood out on the back, on my back balcony.
Okay. How'd that go?
It was fine. I mean, I was upset. I was crying. Just wanted the truth.
And I'm sorry, I may have missed it or I may have just forgot. How long have you and Tracy been together?
Officially or unofficially? I mean, that's kind of a trick question.
Well, on again, off again.
Well, he's never on it. I mean, she chased me around for 3 years cause I was going through a breakup, and then we finally got together officially last winter.
It's only about a year then, officially.
Like living together a year,
Okay.
so in the same household,
So 1 year officially together, living,
in the same house.
coexisting, and then how long have you guys been dating without?
I mean, I can't even tell you when we officially started.
Okay.
I was going through a breakup, and it just kind of happened.
Okay. So at least a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all 3 talked. That talk went civil, or what was said during that conversation?
Just, this is what I said, this is what was said, tell me the truth. I had them both standing in the same room. Lay it out. Just let it out. Nope. Well then, Brian eventually said it, because he had a conscience.
He admitted it to what he had done.
Yes.
Okay. And that was shortly after you guys had gotten home and before the
A
truck?
couple hours.
Or right around
No,
that
we were
time?
well into his truck. Well into his truck. I mean, you guys seen the truck. It was taken apart. It was well into the mechanic side of the truck, but yeah.
What were you guys working on?
He changed the power steering pump. It threw a belt last night. So overheating and so on.
Oh,
So the power steering was out, pump seized, etc.
okay.
So
So then after you 3 talk, what happened after that?
nothing. Like we went back to work on the truck.
Okay.
Well, he went to work. I stood there, and Danielle stood there, and then Tracy left with Hannah because I asked her to leave, and she agreed that we probably should be apart for a couple hours, just to, you have a heated situation, being around each other's not sometimes always the best, because you can make a wrong decision, and
Sometimes emotions get high, huh?
Not like anything.
Is Hannah your biological daughter or?
No, it's hers. She doesn't know her real dad, so.
Gotcha, so she knows
I
you
was
as that?
Yes.
So Hannah's known you for
That's
at
it.
least a year.
Her since she was 2.
Oh, since she was 2.
Yes.
Okay. So you and Danielle have been, or excuse me, you and Tracy have been friends for
A few years.
a few years.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that kind of just turned into a relationship
Mhm.
through there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys go back out, work on the truck. Tracy leaves with Hannah. Do you know about what time that would have been?
I honestly wasn't paying attention, to be honest with you.
Was it light outside, dark
No,
outside?
the sun was coming down.
Sun was coming down?
Well, it's pretty much down. I mean, it was
Okay.
called dark
Okay. So
for the
you,
most part.
you said you got back around 4 or 5, you had a couple of White Claws, you guys talked, so, I mean, and you said the sun was basically down, but it was still kind of light out.
Well, I mean, when the sun's down, it's kind of like gloomy. I guess
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it.
Okay.
Like dusk?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So after your conversation, Tracy leaves with Hannah,
Mhm.
and it's what, you and Brian and Danielle are at the house.
Mhm.
Okay.
Brian tells me the truth. I told him, okay. He decides to leave. I went in the house, was crying profusely. Him and Danielle went to the auto parts store, exchanged parts, the wrong ones for the right ones. I was still crying. My friends hit me up, asked me what was wrong, because I made a post on Facebook about the battle of I won, because I was upset knowing about what I knew versus what I didn't know. And when it was confirmed, that was what I consider a win, like I had found out. But I'm not one to put my life on Facebook, so it was just kind of a generic post. And that's how Ray ended up in my house, because he was concerned.
Who's, I don't know who
The
Ray
last
is.
guy that came out of my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Brian, you said Brian and Danielle left.
No, well, yeah, to go to the auto parts store, yes. I was home alone in my living room. Craig. Had a video call with Craig, because he video called me.
So you posted your thing, and then Craig got a hold of you because he saw the post.
Craig's not on my Facebook, he just called me to call me.
Oh, just random.
It just happened to be,
Okay.
so.
And is Craig the same Craig Caps that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. When he got there, what time did he get there, do you think?
What time?
Craig. What time do you think Craig showed up at your
He
place?
never came to my house.
Or not Craig,
Ray.
Ray, I'm sorry.
I couldn't even tell you the time.
Okay.
I was not looking on the watch.
But it was in the meantime when the two were gone for parts.
It was probably 20 minutes before y'all got called back to my house, I'm assuming. When I answered my phone, it was probably 20 minutes before that call.
Okay.
Give or take on a guess.
So when Brian and Danielle come back with parts, is Ray still there?
No, Ray wasn't there when
Ray.
they got back with the parts, no.
Okay.
Ray was not there yet.
So it's, at that point then it's just you, Ray, or you, Danielle,
Brian.
and Brian.
Yes.
And then, was anything said at that point when they came back, or?
They asked why I was, like, if I was okay. Basically it, and I heard Brian say he was leaving, he left. And I told him to leave. In the mix of all this, told him to leave a few times. I already said it.
You didn't want Brian there at all after you
What?
found out?
Well,
I mean, I don't blame you for it
just
at
to
all.
separate, just,
Right.
I mean, your truck's here, come back. I bought his parts for him to fix his truck. I'm not trying to leave forever, just leave from my space.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
That was it.
Okay.
That seems totally fair.
So we've got a little bit of a different version of the events. Is there anything else you want to tell us that may have happened between you and Brian before Brian left your house?
There's nothing left to tell.
Nothing at all. Was there any altercation that took place at all?
No.
Nothing at all. Nothing
No.
physical? Was there any verbal altercation that took place between you and Brian?
Me crying.
Okay.
You wanna call that altercation?
So they come back, you're clearly emotionally upset, reasonably so. I mean, I can't even imagine what it'd feel like to have a friend of 20 years doing that to you. That's
Sadly, it happens.
happens, but that's gotta be terrible.
Worst things that could happen, but sure.
Why did you decide that Brian needed to leave at that point, since you've been together all day long?
It just was, I was home, wanted to be alone in my house, just, all day. Okay, enough was enough, just wanted to be alone.
Okay. Was he like, when he came back, how did that conversation go when he came back?
When him and Danielle came back,
Yeah, when they came back, how did that conversation go with you saying he needs to leave?
I was sitting on the couch, I was crying. I asked if I was okay, and I said, I'm fine, I just want you to leave.
Okay. And what was Brian's response to that?
Okay,
He was just fine?
okay,
There was no verbal
it was okay.
altercation or anything like that? Was there anything physical between you two?
No,
Not even minor?
no.
Okay.
Well, if I had a friend of 20 years and he was getting pictures from my girlfriend, I would be feeling a different kind of way. I mean, you seem pretty, obviously upset, but, I would have a probably pretty heated conversation with this person, once I found out the truth. That didn't take place.
I mean, I was upset, but I know what direction you're speaking on, and no.
No.
I have a lot to lose, gentlemen. I have daughters.
Sure.
I have a career.
Yeah.
So we're all men that can be handled in the correct way.
Okay.
Well, with that statement being said too, there are different versions of how men would handle another man cheating with his wife. And I think it can go several different ways, and in a lot of different opinions, it would be the correct way to handle it. Especially with a friend, that's a huge violation of trust, it's a huge violation of friendship. And I'm sure you're going through not only the emotions of going through losing a girlfriend, or the mistrust that just took place, but the fact that it's almost the same feeling as losing a friend 20 years.
It's kind of all the above, guys.
That's a lot.
But neither here nor there, there wasn't anything further.
So do you know how Brian would have been injured?
Brian's injured. He walked out of my house fine.
He walked out of your house 100%.
Brad walked out of my house under his own accord fine.
When he left, did you go outside with him at all?
No.
Where were you at in the house when he left?
Sitting on my couch.
Do you have...
I'm gonna step out for just a second.
With Brian being gone, what happened between you and, who was all in the house once Brian left then?
Me and Danielle.
You and Danielle. Did you and Danielle talk about anything?
She asked if I was okay.
Okay.
Just same as I've already said.
Okay. I'm gonna take a couple quick notes real quick, have a pause, and then, are you still good on water, or?
Well, I mean, if you want to bring me another one, I'll take one, sure.
All right. As soon as he pokes his head back in here, we'll see if we get you another water real quick. Got another water?
Yeah, I'll go get you one.
Okay. So once Brian left, how much longer was it until Ray showed up, do you think?
I don't even know. Hour? I don't know.
Do you own a firearm?
No.
Do you own, I know the definition of firearm can be open-ended. you own any firearms or any things that could be turned into firearms? Maybe
No.
nothing like that? Have you ever owned a firearm?
Before I never owned when I was a kid with my parents, but I had felonies before I was able to get my life straight then.
Okay.
Since then, no.
So you do have felonies?
I used to. Well, I mean, they're there from a long time ago. But my record was sealed and I gone away bye-bye.
Do you have juvenile felonies, is what you're saying?
No, it's adult.
Oh, adult felonies. How'd you get those sealed off?
Paid a lawyer, went to court.
Okay. How long ago did you have your felonies cleared off your record?
7 years. So, I petitioned the courts. It's been a while.
About 7 years, you think?
No, it was sooner than that. 7 years went too soon. 4 or 5 years, something like that. I petitioned the courts and then that was pretty much it.
Okay.
So
So you think about 4 or 5 years ago?
something like that.
And you had an attorney help you through the process?
No, it was all litigation on my own.
Oh, okay.
That's for water?
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
What were your felonies up, if you don't mind?
Possession of stolen property, bail jump, taking over a vehicle without owner's permission, first degree, and theft too.
Was that all at one time that you got those, or were those just kind of, they built up a little bit?
One was the first, fucking picking my brain, it's been a long time. And the first 1 or 2 was in 05, I think, 06, right in that ballpark. The next one was like 09, and finalized in 10.
So between 2005 and 2010, you got
4 felonies.
4 felonies.
Yep.
What was going on right during that time in your life?
I was a young punk kid, didn't have any kids, had nothing to live for.
Okay.
My grandma died, she took care of me. I was young, stupid, went to prison, got out, haven't looked back since.
How old are you now?
34.
34? What is your actual birthday? I didn't actually put that down.
5/3/87,
5/3 of 87.
How long were you in prison for?
just less than a year.
Wow.
Like actual physical prison, 57 days.
Wow.
Then I got out to work release and went right back to work. Just what I
Question
did.
about Ray. Was Ray still at the house when when Brian was still there?
No,
So Ray and Brian were never at the house together at the same time?
no.
Okay.
So I just want to clarify, since he asked that then, you said Ray showed up about an hour after Brian left.
Give or take, I wasn't looking at the watch, guys. I know Brian left.
Yeah.
Ray had messaged me. He asked if I was okay. I said, no, I'm upset. He said, where are you at? I said, home. And he knew where I lived because we used to work together. That's how we met. And he came over.
Okay. So you got the felonies off your record. Did you have documentation from the courts saying that your felonies were dropped? Did you
They
get
were never dropped.
a
It was
final outcome or expunged off your record so that you'd be able to?
There is some type of paperwork. I cannot remember exactly what it was. But if I were to dig far enough, or if there was some of my shit, probably might have got moved twice since then.
Okay.
So 3 times.
What state did you get those felonies in?
Clark County.
Oh, so Washington State, Clark County. With you, do you remember off the top of your head, since you said you did the speaking with the judge and everything during court on your own?
I never actually had to go in front of the judge. It was all for like LFOs, and then it went into your felonies, and it all was concluded into one ordeal.
Okay.
So there wasn't no final judgment where you had to go in front of the judge. So with the LFOs, all this time I just assumed it was just taken care of. Because when I used to get pulled over then, it used to be a big deal. And now it just went way after that.
Okay.
Every time I pull over as a normal person again. So.
Do you have knowledge of could you go to the store and purchase a firearm?
Without certification of a judge, no. That's why I do not own one.
So, you said you had the felonies locked off and sealed. Well, I'm assuming that was so that you'd be able to.
Probably a wrong word of format, I guess, because I have paperwork that just got sent me for more LFOs. So, yes, was under the assumption then that's what that was.
Okay,
So, that's all I can tell you.
all right. Did you believe that with what you had done, you'd be able to go to a gun store if you saw a gun and be like, I want to buy that gun and buy it?
Not without verifying and having this actual certification from the judge, just by knowing what I know from the litigation side of things.
Okay. So you don't have any paperwork saying that you could
That is correct.
own a firearm, buy a firearm?
That's why I do not own one.
Okay. Were you still in the process of doing that, do you think, to try to clear that up?
I actually was talking to an attorney out of Seattle about it,
Okay.
so,
How long ago were you working on that?
a month ago.
Oh, okay, so recent.
Mhm.
Okay. And this might sound like a silly question, but you know what a firearm is.
But, well, I mean, that could be anything.
What would you consider a firearm?
We'll just say rifle.
Okay.
I mean, hell, it could be a bow and arrow. Anything, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
Right. That's all I can. Anything, I guess, I don't know. That's kind of a trick question.
I'm not trying to trick you.
Would you consider this a firearm?
That is a firearm.
What, is that considered a rifle?
No, it's a pistol.
Okay. So I'm just trying to make sure. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just asking. I want to know what your definition of a firearm is, because there's many definitions of what a firearm is. There's many definitions of what people say to be a firearm, and I just want to see where you're at on the understanding, or where you're at on what your knowledge of a firearm is. So you said a firearm could be a rifle, or a firearm could be a pistol. You referred that that's clearly a pistol, in your opinion.
Well, I mean, you guys referred to it and showed it. I just said confirm yes.
Yeah, he just.
That's why if
yeah.
I were to see that, I would consider that yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I would call it too.
Something I don't want to, something I won't possess, and something I don't have.
Okay. So with that being said, have you ever heard of like 80% lowers?
Like an untraceable firearm has no serial numbers on the frame, on the lower part of it. You can do it with a rifle or a pistol.
No.
The big word that the government will use is quote unquote ghost guns. They're not illegal because they, you can mill them out to turn them into a firearm.
Okay.
Do you know anything that we're talking about with that?
No. I'm not very well educated in the firearm world because I never owned one.
Okay. Do you know what an 80% lower is?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen anyone or talked to anyone that might own firearms that you've ever been around? Not that you've been around them, but that they own firearms?
I mean, lots of people own firearms, gentlemen.
Okay. What about Brian? Does Brian own any firearms?
Yeah, I went with him last night, before his truck broke. He got a few of them from Craig's girlfriend. They're in his truck that's in my driveway.
Brian has firearms in his driveway? In that truck, in
his
your
truck,
driveway?
in my driveway, yes.
Okay.
There was a rifle, and there was a pistol, and I think there was one more. I think there's 3 total.
Okay.
What was the other gun, do you remember?
One was a revolver, 22, went in the center console, and there was a rifle over. It was 1 or 2 rifles. I could be mistaken about the second,
Okay.
but there was a rifle that went in the backseat.
Any semi-auto pistols?
I wouldn't know the difference, but I just.
So there's something that looks exactly like this, like a semi-automatic pistol. So a revolver kind of cylinder.
And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But you think in that truck, there should be at least one rifle?
Yeah, I was with him last night when he got them.
Okay. But at least, so you said 1 rifle or 2?
One, maybe 2, if I remember correctly, and there was a 22 revolver pistol.
Okay. And then just 1 22 revolver pistol?
Yes. I know that because he got in the truck with us, or what was that, and he told me. Then he stuck in the center console. Okay. And he took me home.
Okay. Does Brian like guns?
I would assume so.
Okay. Well, you know him for 20 years. I mean, is he a gun guy?
Well, I mean, he was in the military for a lot of it. I mean, we went to school together, and then he went in the military, and then got out, and so on. But I mean, I've seen him with guns that I assume that are his
Okay.
in the past. So I would assume yes.
Okay. That's fair. We're just having a
No,
conversation.
you're fine. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I don't know you. I don't know Brian.
No, you're fine.
I'm trying to figure out where we're at here.
I'm tired, guys.
I get
Been
it.
up since 3:45 yesterday.
It's been a very, very long day for you.
It's only going to get worse, I'm sure.
Well, as long long as we're having a good conversation here, we're good, right?
I'm not here to make any trouble for anybody.
No, you've been great. You've been great so far. With Brian's knowledge of being in the military and having firearms, it sounds like he might maybe not be a firearms guy, but he clearly has firearms, likes firearms. Do you know if he builds firearms or works in firearms or anything like that?
I do not know.
He's never talked to you about that or anything?
I've never paid much attention. I mean, me and him don't see a whole lot of each other anymore these days. It's very sporadic. I work a lot. And guns is on my topic list.
Yeah.
You know, truck parts, we'll talk truck parts, we'll talk all day all night long. But our kid stuff, we'll talk about Barbie dolls and diapers or whatever, sure, cool. That's all I got.
On that though, we have some huge gun fanatic guys that work here, and their conversations almost inevitably end up talking something about some type of firearm part or a new firearm coming out, kind of like you with your truck parts or anything like that. Brian doesn't ever once in a while say something about that, or is he just no conversation with you about guns?
Guns are rarely brought up between him and I.
Okay.
It's more truck parts or just life. So that's it.
Do you know if Brian's ever built or made a pistol?
I do not know.
Did you ever see a pistol other than a revolver .22 pistol in Brian's possession with him today?
I couldn't tell you if I had or I don't believe so. I don't know.
Do you know where Brian is right now?
No, he left my house. I haven't seen him.
He didn't tell you where he was going?
No.
He left alone?
Yes. Well, he exited my home alone.
Okay, but when he left your house, do you know if he left by himself or with another person?
As far as I know, he left alone. I mean, he got to my house with me.
Okay.
So
Okay. Do you have?
How did he leave though if his car was broke down in your driveway?
I would assume walk under his own accord.
He lives where?
I said walk under his own accord.
Oh, I think he said
No.
walk to
No.
Arizona Accord.
No.
I don't know where that's at. So.
No.
Okay. Do you have cameras in your home?
Yep.
Do you have cameras that record in your home?
Yep.
Do you have cameras that record outside of your home?
Yep.
Okay. And do they actually record, or are they just monitoring?
It depends. Sometimes they stream, sometimes they don't. They've been malfunctioning for weeks.
Okay. Do they save to anywhere?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Is it like a Ring thing or Arlo, or like is there a brand of cameras that you use in the home?
Well, it's a Ring.
It's a Ring?
Yes.
Okay, so those will still.
So you said they've been malfunctioning for weeks?
3 weeks or so, give or take.
What are they doing by malfunctioning? What's
Just
happening?
not working. Like they'll pop on, you'll see something, then they'll just malfunction. They say no internet connection.
Okay.
Or they go just stay dark.
Okay. But they record inside the home and they record outside of the home.
Depending on the setting that they are set up.
Okay.
Any in the garage?
No.
When they record outside of the home, what areas of the outside do they pick up?
They pick up from the tail end of the driveway, the back porch, and the living room, and then the kitchen.
When you say tail end of the driveway, if I'm standing on the street looking at your house,
I can see you.
you can see me. If I started walking from the street.
Well, depending on where you're standing, if this be my house and you're standing here, I can see you. If you're way over here, no, I can't see you. If you're way over here, I can't see you.
So if I'm standing in the street, let's just take tonight's example for the setup you have right now. I'm standing in the street, Brian's truck's parked in your driveway, your garage is directly in front of Brian's truck. Are we on the same page so far? And I start walking from the street, cross the crosswalk, now I'm standing in your driveway. Would your camera see me?
Depends. If it malfunctions, it depends.
If they were we're gonna say if they were working perfectly, would they see me?
Again, it does depend. If the weather, the wind's blowing, it depends.
Let's
It's
say
it's hit or miss.
Let's say it's a perfect perfect case scenario. The wind's perfect, everything is perfect.
I'm telling you, it's hit or miss, it's been hit or miss.
Okay,
That's all I can tell you, it's hit or miss.
okay. But if it was working perfectly, would it record me?
Maybe. It's hit or miss, it's been hit or miss since I got them. It's about,
So if I walk up to your truck, again, I'm asking if, this is perfect case scenario, the cameras work 100%, the weather's 100%, they're recording full time, would they see me standing at the front of the truck?
wait, huh?
I'm just trying to get a perspective of the angle that the cameras record. So you say that, you originally told me that the camera would pick me up out on the street, if I stand on the street in
Well,
front
yeah,
of the driveway.
like if people would walk by, sometimes it would detect them, sometimes it wouldn't.
Mhm. So then if,
Kids from school. Just
Right.
Every day at the same time, normally, right? Well, sometimes it would go off, sometimes it wouldn't.
okay,
It's hit or miss.
so we can agree, if the cameras are working perfectly, that they would at least record to the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Okay?
yes.
So if they're recording to the sidewalk, under that same condition, it's still recording, we can see the school kids walking on the sidewalk, what area would that see? Would I be able to see the front of Brian's truck?
On the camera,
Mhm.
depends on how close the truck is to the house.
Where it's parked right now?
I don't know, I would have to see the camera of the angle.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you, I'm just, you're asking me.
Okay.
It's not something I just know.
If Brian's truck wasn't parked right there, would you be able to see all of your driveway up to the garage?
No,
How far up would I be able to see if Brian's truck wasn't parked there?
I couldn't give you a footage or answer that question directly with, I can't give you an educated answer on that.
Half the driveway?
Tail end.
Would you be able to see if someone's standing at the corner of the garage?
No,
You couldn't see that?
no,
Okay. Do your cameras record audio and video?
depends on the settings.
Okay, well, how do you have them set up now?
It's not something on my priority list, guys, I don't remember, I don't know.
Okay.
So let's pretend this is your driveway here, and this is your garage, and this is the truck. Will the camera pick up what's happening right in this area up front?
No,
No? Okay.
So, with that being said, you're saying that you had no physical altercation between you and Brian at all?
I had no physical altercation with anybody.
Do you know how Brian Lytle ended up in the hospital with a broken collarbone?
No, he left under his own report, guys.
No idea how that would happen.
He left fine.
Do you know if Brian had other problems with other people?
Yeah, Craig, but he was fucking his woman too. So, I don't know, but I'm not saying Craig's involved in this, but he left my house fine.
Was Craig and,
Craig hasn't been around, Brian's seen Craig, I haven't. But,
do you know if Brian and Craig saw each other today?
no, because Brian was with me all day.
So are Brian and Craig friends then?
We've all been friends.
The three of you have been friends?
Yes,
For
long time.
the 20-year period, the three of you?
Yes, give or take. I mean, I say 20 years is a rule number, guys.
Okay.
It's a give or take answer,
We'll call them
but
high school friends. Have you been friends since high school, basically?
Yes.
Okay. And is that how you guys got together, was high school?
yes,
Okay. And that's how you guys met each other?
yes.
Did you guys go to elementary school together or middle school?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
So basically, freshman year
I-
to now, you
I
guys have been
can't pick a
friends.
year, I can't pick a grade or a timeline.
So high school till
Just-
now.
High school is a reference, we were already that young,
Okay, that works. How did you and Craig become friends?
same, wheeling trucks.
Okay. And that's how you and Brian,
School.
so you get, the trucks have been a big deal for you guys' whole life, and that's what keeps you guys close. Okay.
How
You-
did Craig handle that,
Handle what?
finding out that Brian was, messing around with his lady?
You ain't very happy.
Did he say anything about it?
Yeah.
Like specifically?
He said, well, he talked to me about it, but I had no answers for him, cause I don't know anything. So I'm not in the middle of it, I stay out of it. I have my own affairs to deal with.
Did he say anything, I'm gonna beat his ass or anything like that when I see him, or
No.
I'm gonna, nothing like that?
No,
Is Craig married or is it a girlfriend?
girlfriend,
Craig's girlfriend? How long has Craig and the girlfriend been together?
long time, I don't know, timeline, long time.
And how do you know that Brian was cheating with Craig's
I
girlfriend?
don't know for certain, it's been suspect like it was with me.
Okay. How long has it been suspect?
I didn't even know it was a thing until today.
Well, what brought that up then?
Craig,
Oh, Craig told you?
yes.
Craig, so when Craig sent you the messages to you about Brian, he told you
I
at
think
the
Craig
same.
was telling me about what happened on my end to see if I knew anything about what potentially could go on his end,
Okay.
but I don't know anything.
Was all of that on the phone that you had on you? The phone that I took out of your pocket, were those messages that phone went to?
Between Craig and I,
Yeah,
they're on my Facebook.
okay. Did you use your phone that you had on your person, in your pocket?
I know what you're asking.
Yeah, are there messages on there that would, I'm just looking to verify the story that you're telling me that Craig messaged you
I
for
can
time
solidify
frames.
the story for that, yes.
Okay. Would that phone have any indication of any communication between you, Brian, or Craig?
Define your question.
Text messages, phone calls.
Of what though?
Messenger, anything you've had today?
That's a trick question, gentlemen.
I'm not trying to trick you in any way. I just wanna know, the phone that I took out of your pocket.
Yeah.
You,
I talked to Craig on my phone today, yes.
okay. So that phone that you had on your pocket when I took it out, that was the phone you talked to Craig on?
Yes.
Okay. On that phone that I took out of your pocket, that you talked to Craig on, is there any type of messages, like Messenger, text, Snapchat, any type of other messaging service that you would use on your phone to communicate with either of the two?
Yeah, so we talk on the phone.
Do you talk on the phone like, hey, how you doing? Or do you talk on a messaging app or
It
social
varies.
media?
It varies,
Okay, but that's the phone you use?
yes.
Okay. Do you have a computer in the house that you use to check your Facebook, or you have a laptop?
No.
You have any other electronic devices that you use to check or communicate with?
No.
So the phone that I took out of your pocket is
My broken phone is what I got.
that phone is the only phone you use to communicate with?
Yes.
Okay. And that phone would have your messages from Craig to you about Brian?
Yes.
Okay. What did Craig tell you about Brian and his girlfriend then?
He asked if they were sleeping together. I told him I didn't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did you talk to Brian about that?
Well, he was sitting next to me, I was showing him my phone, like, this is what Craig's saying.
What was Brian saying?
Shaking his head no. Same thing he said about when Craig told me about now what the truth is.
Okay. So Brian completely denied it?
Yes.
His part with you and his part with Craig?
Correct.
And then when did finally Brian admit his part with you?
In my living room
In the living room.
before I asked him to leave, he got back from getting parts.
Okay.
And I asked him one last time he saw how much emotional I was. And he
Okay.
told me the truth, and I said, you need to leave, will you please leave? And he said, okay, and he left.
Okay. So you guys spent all day together, you're suspect that he's cheating on your girlfriend, or with your
I don't
girlfriend?
suspect anything, I had no idea, that I
Well-
did not suspect anything.
What's Craig told you though?
Once Craig told me, then it was an idea in my head,
Okay.
that was it, and so I got to the bottom of it.
So I guess I'll rephrase my question. Once Craig told you today, sometime afternoonish, today,
Yeah.
before you were to Prineville, or just prior to, you had knowledge that potentially Brian was cheating with Craig's girlfriend and with your girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. You guys didn't, it doesn't sound like you really dealt with it at that time, but you guys had some form of conversation sporadically throughout the day?
Yeah, I asked him directly.
And Brian said?
No.
No. So,
Then when he's at my house and he saw how upset I was,
yeah.
he told me.
So you guys have been talking back and forth all day long, he hasn't admitted to anything, he finally goes to go get parts with Danielle. And that, I'm sorry, let me back up. Did Brian confirm that he was cheating before or after he left for the parts?
It was after he got back. I took him the first time to buy his parts, I bought his parts.
Okay.
And then I was upset, so I sent my sister Danielle, not a real sister, friend,
Yep,
to go exchange those parts, gave her my debit card.
with Brian.
With Brian, because
Okay.
I was upset. I didn't wanna go anywhere, and I had 2 White Claws, I wasn't about to be driving,
Okay.
so
So-
that was that.
At that point though, Brian hadn't confirmed it yet.
No,
Okay. So they come back,
then he saw me upset,
he
crying.
sees you upset.
He confirmed it, and I asked him to leave, and he left.
Okay.
That was the last I seen of Brian tonight.
Okay. And how long have you and Danielle been friends?
Long time, I can't tell you,
Okay.
5, 6 years, something like that.
And you consider her a sister, so your relationship is really close.
Yes.
Would you treat her as like a blood sister?
Yes.
Would you basically be willing to do anything for her?
I think, well, that's a trick question again, fellows.
I'm not trying to trick you. I'm saying, for my sister, I can tell you right now, I'd basically do anything for my sister.
Well, I mean,
If someone hurt my sister, I would probably
I'm not gonna
deal with that
I'm not
however
gonna
I
hurt
need to deal
nobody
with
or
it.
be like that, no, but I mean, I would be there for her,
Okay.
however she need fit in the correct formats.
Yeah. Do you think she would, do anything for you?
I mean, sure, I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, that's again, that's a trick question.
I'm not doing any trick questions. If you're taking that as a trick question, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to, if I can phrase it differently, I would like to. I'm just trying to ask a basic question of your relation. I'm trying to establish your foundation between you and Danielle. You're calling her your sister. I've got plenty of other girlfriends, I got plenty of other guy friends, but I don't call them my sisters, and I don't call them my brothers.
I just call her she's a union sister, that's where that sister side came in.
Okay.
She's in our union, I have union sisters, I mean, you guys are, you call each other brothers, same context.
Okay. So like I call him my brother in blue, and I would basically do anything I needed to do to make sure that he's okay.
Within reason, sure.
Is that your same relationship that you would say you'd have with Danielle?
Within reason, yes.
Okay. Would Danielle have any reason to put you in a bad spot?
To my knowledge, no.
Have you and Danielle had any fights?
No.
Any confrontations?
No.
Is she more your friend than Brian's friend, or is she more Brian's friend than your friend?
She doesn't know Brian.
She doesn't?
No, she'd be my friend.
Okay. How long has Danielle known Brian then?
I don't know, she knew him beforehand, but not at all, from my opinion.
Okay.
From the little bit that I would be able to answer that with.
So from tonight's point of view, or today's point of view, if Danielle was walking down the street, would she go, oh, that's Brian, and say, hey, Brian, what's up?
To my knowledge, no.
So she has no idea who Brian is, basically, other than from today, him coming over.
Sure.
Okay. And you're sure that there's no contact between her and Brian?
I don't know if they talk tonight, like.
Other than tonight. Tonight would be their
I
first
can't tell
meeting
you
together.
I know, I told you my information, what I know. If there's more to that, then that's outside of my scope of knowledge.
Would there be any reason that Brian would want to say something about you that wasn't true?
Probably he just got caught with my girlfriend, so that table could be open to anything.
Okay.
But I would like to say no, because he's been a long time friend.
You think you'd ever take it to the extent to get you in any serious trouble?
I would hope not, but given today's age, I don't know anymore. I would say no on my best trust judgment.
Yeah. You don't think you don't think he would accuse you of anything to get you in trouble to land you back in jail?
I would like to think so, no.
Okay.
To your knowledge, is today the first day that Brian and Danielle actually met?
I mean, they may have met when I had a little bonfire at my house in the past, this summer, but I just don't remember. So I can't give you an accurate answer.
Okay.
I can't answer that for you and give you something to write down.
Yep. I know that on your head, you're probably thinking that with the felonies in your background that you have, if something serious were to come up, that it could probably cause problems.
honestly, I'm so tired and so just worried about the whole ordeal. There's nothing particular that came to my mind. I just know I've not been in trouble. I've been pretty good at staying out of trouble.
Okay.
So,
Have you ever had moments of rage or anger that you kind of lost yourself a little bit?
I mean, sporadically in my own mind, not outbursts of personalization.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody fantasizes, but when you're angry about or whatever, then it goes in one ear out the other, basically. You know, walk and go to your garage, turn a wrench, or whatever it may be. To,
Would you consider yourself an alcoholic?
no,
Okay. How much do you drink on average per day?
no, I do not drink every day.
Not every day?
No,
Okay. When do you normally drink?
just sporadically.
Okay. So you said you had 2 White Claws earlier. Would that be the maximum amount you normally drink, or do you drink more than that?
It varies. I mean, I work a lot, so get back to the trailer, have a couple beers, maybe.
Okay.
That's it.
You had said that the 2 White Claws you weren't going to drive because you felt that you were impaired. Was there anything more than the White Claws you drank today?
Oh, I had a single shot of Pendleton. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Had a single shot of Pendleton.
When was that?
I don't know, this evening. Just one single shotter.
Okay.
Right about.
So 2 White Claws and a shot of Pendleton is what you had consumed today.
Yep.
Do you use drugs in any way?
Nope.
Meth?
Nope.
Heroin?
Nope.
Cocaine?
Nope.
Marijuana?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Have you used any drugs today?
No. I don't use drugs.
When you have drank in the past, have you ever been in an altercation with anyone, verbally or physically?
Maybe when I was younger. I mean, I don't know.
You ever get into bar fights or things like that when you were younger?
No.
No.
Are you a fighter?
I mean, I've been in a few things over the years, but nothing.
Would you consider yourself an aggressive person? A
I used to
confrontational
be when
person?
I was younger.
Okay. But you don't feel like that you're that way anymore?
No, I have too much to lose, guys. There's other ways to handle things.
Right.
If it can't be talked about, then it just shouldn't be talked about right now.
Well, that's kind of why we're here tonight, because how things were handled tonight isn't necessarily lining up with what you're telling us.
Well, I figured that much, but that's why when Tracy came back to the house, we were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she left. And then next thing you know, here we are.
Right.
So that's why I was at total shock, like, holy shit, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
Okay.
You said you were somewhat aggressive when you were younger. What does that mean?
Well, I wrestled and played football and I was a kid.
Okay. How big are you?
Fat.
Well,
I don't know.
I'd agree with you, I'm as fat as well, but
Yeah, I mean,
we're not doing the fat term here. I'm just wondering, how tall are you?
5. I don't know. I don't know. I'm 5'8".
5'8"? How much do you think you weigh?
A lot.
What's a lot?
I mean, I haven't set on the scale. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, well, I can tell you right now, I think I weigh a lot. I'm about 300 pounds sitting here right now.
Okay.
So.
Well, I couldn't tell you what I weigh because I haven't set on the scale, so I don't know.
Do you think you're 200?
I don't know.
Okay.
I cannot give you an answer because I do not know.
Okay. Would you consider yourself smaller or bigger than me?
I don't know. That's no.
Okay.
You can't ask me that.
I just did, so I can. What do you consider Brian's stature? What's that?
What do you mean?
How big is Brian? I haven't even seen Brian, so I don't know how he's built. Is he built like you? Is he built?
I don't know. He's just a normal
Me?
guy.
Okay.
He's been losing weight.
Scrawny then?
I mean, I wouldn't call him scrawny. I don't know. He's just a guy, guys. I don't know.
Is he taller than you?
Yes.
Stronger than you?
Never been in an altercation.
Well, I mean, I could.
I
could
not.
look at someone and be like, that dude's bigger and stronger than me.
Well, you can never judge a book by the cover.
And that's true.
So I don't make those assumptions, and I don't even think like that anymore, guys. That was how I thought when I was younger. I don't think like that anymore. I don't, that's not what I do.
Did you take up religion?
No, when I was in prison, my grandmother died, and I lost my world. And I was homeless, I was broke, and I decided to change my life before I had a kid. Now I have 2. So,
Since you've been out of prison, have you ever been in anything physical?
No. Well, I mean, my ex, she called the cops a couple times. We had civil arguments. It's on your papers, I'm sure you can look it up, without purging way.
Okay.
But
What happened during those times?
just stupid arguments.
Were they physical ever?
No.
Was there allegations of them being physical ever?
To my knowledge, that I was ever accused of, no. She had a restraining order put against me, and then we both went to court and it was dropped.
Okay.
She dropped it.
What were the elements of the restraining order?
I do not remember.
Okay. Do you know why the restraining order would have been granted, or at that time temporarily imposed, and then why it was dropped?
She put it in place, and then we talked, and we both went to court, and it got dropped. She dropped it.
Did you get arrested during those times at all?
I did like a weekend, because I didn't do my work crew in Longview, when I did have a license for a little while.
Did you get arrested for any domestic violence when you were with your wife?
I've never been married, but I've
you're
never
the
been
one.
arrested or charged with domestic violence of any kind ever, or any assaults.
Okay. Do you know, what was the basis of her restraining order then?
It was a girl and we were arguing. I couldn't tell you, it's been a long time, I don't remember. I just remember we and her went to court and she dropped it, and we were fine.
Did she ever accuse you of being physical with her?
No,
No. It was always verbal.
I've never put a hand on a woman before ever.
What about for male halves? Have you ever put a hand on a male half?
A what?
A man. Since you've been out of prison?
No. Well, that's a trick question. I mean,
It's not your question.
you're asking like if for an altercation of violence?
Yeah, have you ever been in,
fight.
have you ever been in a fight since you've been out of prison?
No.
Never, not once.
No, I have not fought anybody. No.
Would it surprise you if I told you that Brian's in the hospital right now?
Yes, it would. He left my house fine, gentlemen. If Brian's in the hospital, that's a shock to me.
Mm-hmm.
He left my house fine.
Do you think your cameras would show us something different?
If they were on, we didn't get any altercation.
He's in the hospital.
Well, what happened?
You and Tracy and Danielle were the only people there, so.
Well, Tracy wasn't there when Brian was there.
Okay.
After she
Oh,
left.
Danielle was there.
Brian left on his own accord, gentlemen. If my friend's hurt, it's not me.
When you say Brian left on his own accord, can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I asked him to leave because I was crying and he walked out the door. And he left.
Did you say anything to him?
No, I asked him to leave and he said, okay.
Did you threaten him?
No.
Not even don't come back here?
No.
So he came back from the parts, he confirmed that he'd been cheating.
And I asked him to leave.
What did that make you feel like?
I felt like shit, guys. I just found out my woman of years been cheating on me. I was a mess. I'm still a mess.
Do you think that the old you would have done anything to Brian at that point?
That's irrelevant to this, guys. You can't answer that. No, I'm not that person. I'm an adult. I'm a man.
I know you're telling me a different person,
Okay, well, no.
but you also told me in the past you've been in little
I
scraps.
did not hurt my friend.
Would you have felt like you maybe wanted to?
No. That part of me is no longer.
So you're telling me that a friend of 20 years was found cheating with your girlfriend, sending photos back and forth, you spent all day with him and he basically lied to your face about it, and then he finally comes back and admits to it after you're trying to help him with his truck, trying to help him get back on his feet, you're exhausted, tired, and you find out that he confirms, hey, guess what? That 20-year friendship, not here anymore. Your girlfriend just cheated on her with you.
There was no anger that came out of me. It was pain of upset.
Yeah, it would have been a total normal reaction for you to be pissed off beyond belief. I mean, I would be, he would be, I would say
Okay.
99% of people would be.
I have children.
Livid.
Okay, well, I didn't say I wasn't angry.
Right.
I just said that I am not that person.
Right. We all handle things in different ways.
Exactly. I have nothing, there's nothing in life that cannot be discussed at a later date. Yes, you
I don't
can be
disagree with
upset.
that.
You can be upset on point, but you don't have to resort to anger to solve a problem.
But
And
I think it's
no.
normal for humans to do that from time to time. It happens.
Maybe for you, but
I think just about for anybody.
not for somebody that,
I mean, there are
Just-
situations that we get put in sometimes where
I think
our
about,
anger blinds us and we maybe do things that we later regret.
well, I think about a lot of things I do before I do them,
That's a good thing.
and no, I didn't hurt anybody.
Your demeanor that you have right now with us, how was it different when Brian told you that he was cheating on your girlfriend?
I buckled and cried.
Knees gave out?
I was sitting down.
Did you feel like you fell to the couch?
I felt like the house fell on me. It broke my heart. I have nothing else to say, gentlemen. I'm heartbroken.
So how did Brian end up with a broken collarbone in the hospital?
I don't know.
Not a clue.
He left my house on his own. Fine.
You understand why we think that you may have had something to do with that based on everything that happened throughout
Sure.
the day up until now?
Sure, it's easy to assume and point a finger, but I did not hurt anybody.
Okay. Well, put yourself in my shoes, and I'm asking you the same question.
I understand. I was in
You
the
would probably
same
think like, oh,
I was in the same shoes all day.
you know,
I didn't hurt anybody.
did you feel like hurting him at any point in time?
No.
I would.
Well, that's
I mean,
you, man. No, I don't.
I think
no.
that's most people, right?
Well,
My best friend
no.
of 20 years just messed around with my old lady. Like, I'm
For
gonna
me,
have a problem.
I have a
with
lot
that.
to lose.
I do too.
Well, I'm not saying
But
you
I would
don't.
still have those thoughts running through my head, like,
Those
I'm
thoughts didn't
gonna-
go through my head. I was just upset because I trusted my girlfriend and it was betrayed. And it was another longtime friend.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't have room in my life for anger.
Did Brian have a broken collarbone at any day, at any point in time?
He was complaining about his right shoulder all day today in my truck. That was it. I don't know why he slept most of the time. Well, slept in the morning because we got on the road at 4:30.
That he was complaining about shoulder pain.
Just a shoulder. Same, hell, you could sleep on it wrong, for all I know.
No.
So, I don't know anything else. If Brian's hurt, I didn't, he was fine. That's my friend.
Did Brian carry a gun?
I assume he's in the military. I don't know.
Well, you were with him all day. Did he have a gun?
Oh, did he have a gun in the truck? Not that I know of. Not in my truck. No.
Brian have a gun at all today on him?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know if Brian has a concealed weapons permit?
I do not know. Those are questions for him, not me.
I'm just asking you, I mean, we can look it up, but
No, it's
I
fine.
was just seeing if,
I don't know everything about my friends. I mean, just because we know each other a long time, we know everything.
okay.
So,
Did you see Brian with a gun at all today?
no, we were driving since 4:30.
When you guys got home after 4, did you see Brian with a gun in or around your house, your garage, his truck at any point in time?
Not that I noticed.
Okay.
Was there a gun used at any time tonight?
There was no gun present. No.
Danielle called the police, correct?
I'm not sure who called the police. I think you're a good guy. I think you have a ton on your plate. I think you have a ton to lose.
I do.
We've had a brief conversation about that. We know each other for what we have talked about right now. I feel like you're lying to me
Sorry you feel that way.
about how you handled the situation.
Are you afraid of what happens next?
Yes, I'm scared shitless, guys. I have kids and a career. I can't afford anything. So,
Do you believe in it? Do you believe in integrity?
absolutely. But I mean, I gotta be picking up my kid at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. If I ain't there, I'm in even more trouble because their mom's not very nice. So,
You wanna be there for your kids, I'm assuming you wanna be a good dad, you wanna be present.
oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. But, I mean, to use that against me, that's not right.
No, I'm not using it against
Not
you, man,
using
but
against
the
you.
allegations that are being made against you tonight, that could be a very real possibility for you, is what I'm trying to get at. What we're being told by other witnesses and people that were present for how things transpired this evening, are quite serious.
I didn't have them come.
We got a guy that ended up in the hospital with allegedly a broken collarbone, and, we're getting told that there was a use of a firearm this evening. And you're saying that none of that stuff happened.
There was no firearm usage in my home
What about outside?
at all. Period. There was no altercation at my house. That's all I have, fellas.
So at no time, what you're telling me, and my friend here, is that at no time at all during this evening, you never touched Brian. You never put your hands on him
I
in
gave
any
him
kind of way.
I gave him a hug.
You hugged the guy that cheated on.
Yeah, we hug and joke around all day, just because of that.
You guys hugged today because.
Yes, multiple times.
After you found out that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So, after Brian tells you that he confirms the story, you guys hugged?
No, not after that, no. He left. I asked him to leave. I told you that.
Okay.
I
Well,
was
you
crying.
you
I was
just said
upset.
multiple
Well, yeah, we
times,
did.
so-
Yeah. We have a joking relationship, me and all my friends. I'm a jokester. I like to laugh.
Okay.
So, I have nothing else I can tell you guys. I didn't hurt anybody.
Could you have accidentally hurt somebody?
You can hurt yourself getting out of bed. I didn't hurt anybody.
Did you touch Brian at all after he confessed to you that
No.
he was lying to you?
No. I asked him to leave my house.
You know, the last time you saw or heard of him?
For this evening, yes.
You said your daughter was 6, or your girlfriend's daughter was 6?
6 and 7. My daughter's 7. Her sister's daughter's 6.
Okay. Have you ever had a situation where your daughter has done something and then she knew she would be in trouble, and so she didn't want to tell the truth?
No.
Your daughter's never lied?
Well, I mean, kids and I will take it about those stuff, but they're not in fear of me at all, no. I know that's what you're asking.
I'm not asking they're in fear of you. I'm not accusing you of being a bad dad.
I didn't say that.
I'm talking about as a parent.
No.
If you told your daughter, hey, you can't play with that toy anymore, daughter goes and plays with the toy, you know she played with the toy, and you said, did you play with the toy? And she says, no.
What does that got to do with this?
Do you think that your daughter would tell you that she didn't play with that toy because she was in fear of being in trouble because she knew she shouldn't do that?
No. My kids don't fear me.
It's not about fear. It's not about fearing a parent.
That's what you said.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Parenting, sometimes you do things with your child, and you know they've done something they shouldn't do.
I understand. They know they get in trouble, they don't wrong, but they don't get yelled at, they don't, no.
It's not fear of like, I'm gonna get beat or anything like that. It's like, I don't wanna get in trouble, so I don't wanna tell the truth. Because I know what the truth is, but I know if I say the truth, I'm probably gonna be in trouble. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You kinda went all over the map with that. Yeah.
Because I wanna look at you as an honest person, is what I'm saying. And I feel that you feel like you might be in trouble, and if you say some things, that you might get yourself in trouble.
Well,
And you're not telling us the whole truth.
You guys are here to put me in jail.
We're not here to put you in jail.
We're here to get to the bottom of what happened tonight.
But whatever you just brought in your hands was probably gonna be the next question, so let's get to that.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. So, like I said, Danielle was there.
Yep.
And she was there while Brian was there and you were there. Was she there when Brian finally told you that, or finally admitted that he was messing around with Tracy?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you and Danielle consider yourself very good friends?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. You would say that she has a certain level of care for you and you reciprocate that?
I would agree, yes.
Okay. So there would be absolutely no reason Danielle would talked to the police and alleged story to get you in any kind of trouble?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay, so Danielle tells us tonight that you're the reason Brian's in the hospital right now with a broken clavicle.
No.
Why would she say that if it's not true?
Beats valid, I mean, I didn't argue.
We're getting to that point, man.
What point, what's on your paper?
We'll get to that in a second, but we're getting to that point where right now the best thing to do is just be honest. And I know that that's tough to do because I look at you like an intelligent person. You know what's coming. You know what comes next.
Yeah, so let's just get to that point then.
Well,
If
hear me
that's
out,
what's
though.
coming, I mean,
You understand, I think you are intelligent to understand that at this point that you're in trouble.
well, I already.
Things aren't good.
Already figured
Things
as
aren't
much.
looking good for you at this point in time.
Already figured as much.
Okay, so why would Danielle tell us that he's in the hospital with a broken clavicle?
That's a good question.
Okay, well, why would Danielle also say that you shot a pistol in the direction of Brian when he was working on the truck?
I never shot any pistol.
Okay, then why did we recover this pistol on the scene? Have you ever seen that gun before?
No,
Never seen it ever.
it's not mine.
Your fingerprints won't come on that gun. When we run DNA, your DNA or your fingerprints will not come on this pistol. Is that what you're telling me right now?
Tracy has a gun just like that.
Tracy has a gun like that?
She has a gun, you can go run it.
Okay. Will your fingerprints come up on Tracy's gun or your DNA?
Well, it's been moved around the house.
Have you touched that gun before?
That one?
Yes.
If it's hers, yes. I moved around the house.
And it was not discharged tonight?
I did not fire any weapon.
Okay. Do you know where Tracy keeps her gun?
No.
Never seen, you don't know where
I
she
don't
keeps it?
snoop through her things,
Mm,
so.
okay.
I didn't fire a weapon, I didn't have a weapon, I had no possession of a weapon, no form of a weapon.
So at the scene, they won't recover a bullet or a shell casing?
At my house?
Mm,
Dude, I only lived there a year and a half. That's a far question, far answer.
I'm talking about tonight. A
There-
shell casing
there-
and a bullet from tonight's incident.
There was no weapon that was fired by me at my home. There was no weapon
So
that
why
was
is
fired at
Danielle
home.
saying that? Just to get you in trouble? That doesn't make any sense. Why would a friend of so many years who cares about you, who care about her, make some story
I didn't
to lie
fire.
to you here in front
I
of us?
don't know, I didn't fire a weapon. I don't. I
So you
can't.
you got a group of people saying one thing, and I got you saying another thing.
Okay,
You understand the predicament?
sure.
Okay.
I mean, lots of people can say that someone did something.
Sure.
I did not do anything.
Yeah.
So,
How do you think several people can say the same exact story, not even next to each other?
same thing that goes at work. A lot of people can say the same thing.
No, exact story.
Okay.
They have exact details, the exact story, and the only one that doesn't have the exact story is you.
Well, man, I didn't have that gun.
Brian's in the hospital.
I didn't discharge any weapon.
He told us a story.
That's that.
Danielle's not in the hospital. They told us two stories to two different people, and they match up exactly. And the common denominator in that story is you.
Okay.
So how does that happen?
I didn't hurt anybody.
You don't wanna go back to prison?
Who wants to go to prison now?
Right, but is that what you're afraid of? You're afraid, like, if you tell the truth, that's what's gonna happen?
Well, I mean, anything at this point could happen, gentlemen, but, I didn't have a weapon. I didn't discharge a weapon. I didn't hit anybody, didn't hurt anybody.
You understand that your cooperation looks better than your uncooperation.
I've been cooperating. I'm here.
You've been talking, I would agree, and you've told us some parts of the story, but the minute we come to the hard part, you don't wanna talk about that at all. You say you have no knowledge of anything.
I didn't have possession of a weapon.
Is that what you're afraid of, being a felon in possession of a firearm?
I'm not afraid of a single action, just
Or are you afraid of
this
assault?
whole ordeal is scary to me, guys. I have a lot to lose, I've already said it, period. So,
So, I just don't get it, like, if Brian's your friend, he left on his own accord, everything was kosher, you were upset, but you said you're gonna handle it, you know, like a decent human being. Danielle, who doesn't even know Brian, and is a good friend to you, gonna tell us that you hurt him? Why would she make up a lie for a dude she doesn't even know?
it's a good question.
Well, I feel like you know the answer.
Yeah, I didn't hurt anybody. have not hurt anybody. Here's my hands, I did not hurt anyone. I have not touched no one.
There's a lot of ways to do damage to somebody without using your fists.
Well,
You said you used to wrestle.
yeah, in high school, it's like a big thing.
Well, during wrestling, there's plenty of things you can do to someone without actually punching. You can't even punch in wrestling, right?
Not breaking a collarbone.
It's easy to break a collarbone in a wrestling move.
It used to me, I wrestled for years and no idea of that sort.
Under certain rules, but when it comes to street wrestling, different rules apply, right?
Well, I guess, but.
Tracy worked in construction.
Tracy? No, she works in the school district.
Okay. Any reason she would have yellow highlighter vest or orange highlighter vest like this?
No, it's all mine from the years, over years of.
Okay, so
Probably taken out of my garage.
why is there a pistol on top of, I'm assuming this is probably your work clothes, right?
Where was that found?
Where was it found?
It wasn't found in my house,
No, it wasn't.
because there was no weapon in my house.
Where
So I
would
don't have
those
a
work
weapon.
clothes be at?
You can go through my whole house, there's work clothes like that all over my house,
Any reason there would be work clothes like that in Tracy's car?
and there shouldn't have been.
No, no reason.
There shouldn't have been.
What does Tracy drive? What's her car?
Red Jeep,
Red Jeep.
yeah.
What other cars were in your driveway? There was a white truck, red Jeep. What else was there?
White Ford, red Jeep, red Chevy, gray 4Runner.
Gray 4Runner.
What about the silver or gray car that was parked in front of your house?
That was Danielle's. So, same cars she drove for years.
Does Danielle work in construction?
Yes,
Okay, what does she do?
she's a dirt worker, apprentice, and our union.
All right. Did you have access to Danielle's car?
No,
Have you ever had access to her car?
no. I rode in it
Did
once,
Tracy know does Tracy know Danielle real well?
just civilly through us.
Any reason Tracy would go into Danielle's car?
I don't know. That's not a question for me.
Do you know that? So you said this is Tracy's gun, right? You recognize this is Tracy's gun?
No, I said she has one similar. I do not recognize
let's
that
take a look
portion.
at it. Does
Okay, yeah,
does
that's a
look
pistol.
similar?
It looks like the one on your hip.
Yeah, does that look like Tracy's gun that you've seen before?
It could be similar. I don't know.
Okay. Do you know if Danielle likes guns?
I don't know.
You've never seen Danielle with a gun before?
I don't know. No, not that I know. No.
So
No.
this gun that looks like Tracy's gun ends up in the trunk of Danielle's car. How does that happen?
Why are you asking me? It's in her car.
Right, but we've established that this is Tracy's gun. Why
No,
is
we did
Tracy's
not
gun-
establish that as Tracy's gun. I said it looks similar to the.
Earlier you said it was Tracy's
I
gun.
said it looked like it.
Alright, how did Tracy's gun end up in Danielle's car?
We did. Run the numbers if it is hers. I don't know. It's not my gun.
You can't run numbers on a gun that has no serial number on it.
Okay, well then it's not Tracy's gun.
Tracy's gun has serial numbers?
Well, it's registered to her.
How do you know that?
Because she told me she bought it.
Where'd
I
you
mean,
buy it?
I don't know, ask her.
So no reason that your fingerprints or DNA would come within a gun found in the back of Danielle's car?
DNA? No,
Mhm.
I mean, no.
So we
I
test
did-
for those
I-
things, we send the gun to the lab checks for DNA, I mean, even if you had just touched
Okay,
it
okay.
at any point in time,
All right.
it'll come out with trace DNA that.
You do what you gotta do. No,
So
it's
no
not
reason
mine.
your DNA would come up on this pistol?
It's not my gun, I did not
I'm not
have
saying
it.
it's your gun, but would your DNA
That is not mine.
show up on this pistol?
It's not mine.
Just,
Didn't have it.
I understand it's not your, I understand.
You're asking about DNA for blood and so on, and I'm telling you, no, that's not mine. And no, your questions are no.
Your DNA would not come up on this pistol?
The pistol is not mine, it's not, no, I'm not answering any more questions, it's not mine.
We're not asking if the pistol's yours. We're asking if your DNA or
Nothing,
fingerprints will show up
nothing
on that
about
pistol.
me involves that. No, it's not me.
Just answer the question, sir.
I just did.
I'm gonna ask
Can
you
we
one last
move?
time.
Okay, I'm trying to be straight with you guys, no. The answer's no, and I'm not talking anymore.
You're not talking anymore?
No.
Like, you don't wanna answer questions with us anymore? Is
I
that what
would-
you're saying?
I would rather be done.
You'd rather be done? Why-
Because you guys try to put me in a corner.
No, man, I'm just asking a simple question.
I know, but I know what's coming next, so please.
What's
Well,
coming
whatever,
next?
I don't know.
How do you know what's coming?
Just, man, y'all got me scared in the corner. I don't have a lawyer. I thought it just,
Well, you said the gun's not
and
yours.
I haven't slept since yesterday.
You
but
understand these still, you understand your rights?
Yes, I understand my rights. I knew what I entered into, yes.
Okay.
And now I'm
I just wanna be clear.
willfully saying,
You're willfully saying what?
I don't wanna discuss anymore. I'm too tired to continue to answer questions with the lack of sleep that I've had.
So you're saying at this point forward, you want us to go off of what we got?
What
You
I-
don't want any more information and put it on your behalf?
There's nothing else I can say that can help myself. I told you everything.
You told us that's not your gun, but you're
Okay.
refusing to answer the question if your DNA or fingerprints are gonna show up on that firearm.
I'm not answering any more questions. I need some sleep.
So can we say that your fingerprints or DNA will show up on the firearm?
It's not mine.
I know that's not
It's the
yours.
same question, just
You're not
reiterating.
answering the question. I mean, it's not even the same question.
This is not my knife.
I understand.
Will my DNA show up on that knife now?
Gentlemen, I'm too tired to answer.
I understand you've had a long day, man, but this is a big deal.
I understand. This is all I got. So,
Did you fire a gun tonight?
no,
Did you assault Brian tonight?
no,
Did you touch Brian tonight?
no,
Did you touch a gun tonight?
no. So gentlemen, am I free to go?
No.
Okay.
No.
Am I going to jail?
Mhm.
Yes.
What's the charges?
That I will get a list of charges and come back and tell you officially. I don't wanna tell you what my guesses are. I wanna know what we have on the other end of it, and then we can tell you what those charges are going to be.
I
Okay,
can
what,
tell you that there's not gonna be a bail and there's felony charges. I can tell you that much.
well, what about a phone call?
You can, when you get to the jail, you can make phone calls.
I mean, I've been straight shoot with you guys. I mean,
To a certain point you have,
Okay.
and then you refuse
Alright.
to answer. Once we get to the hard
Okay.
part, man, you don't wanna talk
Okay.
anymore of what the truth is.
Okay,
And it's hard to
okay,
have that conversation with you.
okay.
Yeah, when you get to the jail, they'll let you make a phone call, depending on how busy they are and what they got going on, but at some point, within the next few hours, they'll let you make a call.
I'm gonna be asleep in an hour.
Is there anything else you would like to tell us?
I have nothing more to say.
Is there anything that maybe we should have asked you that we didn't?
I have nothing more to say, guys.
Are you invoking your rights?
I'm invoking my rights.
You want an attorney now?
I've wanted one the whole time. I was
Why
straight,
didn't you
well, I
say
didn't
so?
say I
You
didn't.
never asked for an attorney,
I
sir.
didn't say I did. I'm not using it, I'm not saying anything against you, either one of you. But I was just being straight with two straight guys.
Hmm? So are you saying
So,
now you'd like to have an attorney?
Yes,
Are you saying now you don't wanna answer any more questions we asked you because you'd like to have an attorney?
that's correct.
It is 22:44 hours. It is 10/21/2021 on Thursday.
Stop the recording.
Can you do really a message to Tracy for me?
What was that, please?
Tell her to